Good morning. Um, it's been a while since my last video. The last one I think was just a casual video, but this one I think I'm going to upload on the YouTube channel. One Love, One Mind. So today I'm finally feeling a little bit better because I've been pretty busy and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's typical work, other things, piling up and fill up the whole schedule, which is not the best way to do it, but I did. Anyhow, so we are still getting quite a bit of snow. Yes, it's spring for most people, but for us, Mainers up here in northern Maine, not quite. Spring, this word spring is a stranger to us. It's too soon to mention spring, I think. This is my second winter here, but anyhow, it's still snowing and it's all wet snow, which is not my favorite. Let me put it this way, not my favorite just because they're really wet, dense, and heavy. So when you're trying to shovel them, it's just difficult. It's not all those fluffy, like pretty and easy to handle. These are all sticky together. It's crunchy when you step on it, and plus we are getting warmer temperature wise, so for that I will give a little bit credit of like springtime, because we can get to like 30 somewhat degrees to 40. One day I think we get to 50. That's pretty warm. Pretty warm. So then I don't know, I hope it's gonna start to really warm up more consistently, and a little bit tired of the snow. I love the snows, okay, but just at some point you really want to change the scene. I think that's what it is. We want. I think that now I'm learning to embrace the seasonal change, right? The changes, even within myself, the changes as I want to crave for. For example, I would crave for a noodle soup or macaroni and soup. Yes, that's how I eat it. This is a my comfort food, not necessarily for most of you. If you eat macaroni, you think about macaroni cheese or with some other ways to cook them, but I like to put them in soup. Yes, it's my comfort food. Anyways, my point is sometimes we really want to see changes. As much as we tend to have the mentality of like we want something to stay permanent, if something good, we want it to stay there, right? But then when something bad happens, we tend to feel like, when will it stop? Can we just call it a, like put a stop sign and just call it, and then we can have something else, right? So the more we are becoming more aware of the nature of everything in our world, it's always constantly changing. If we believe in permanency, I think the only thing that we can look at permanency will be who we truly are, right? Our core being, our higher self, our spirit, that is permanent, right? That's non-destructible. That's infinitely there. Our spirit, our divine force in us. Not talking about the body. I'm talking about who we truly are. When we talk about God, the divine being, right? The highest powerful being. You talk about the infinite source of energy that creates everything, right? Ongoing from alpha to omega. It's just ongoing, never ending, only ever expanding. So when we're able to connect to that, yeah, then you will look at things a little bit differently. However, we're still living in this physical world, so there are certain things we still have to be very mindful and understand how things are operating here, right? You're not gonna be being so naive and say, no, everything can be just, stay put and stay there, not changing for the next 30 years. It's not going to work. It doesn't work like that. Sorry. It just doesn't work. And even from this moment compared to the second before this moment, it's already changing. My body chemistry has changed, right? My breathing has been changed. My heart rate possibly changed depending on what I'm talking about, right? When I get really excited, compassionate, talk about certain things, and my energy shifted. My physiological, chemical level will also shift, right? Based on what I'm talking about, based on what I'm thinking about, and what I'm feeling about. So when we truly harness the nature of what is really going on in this reality, the more we understand and embrace it and know how to use it not against us, but use it for us so that we can truly master what we call go with the flow. How can we master that? Basically, the most important essence of art of living, right? Go with the flow. Don't go against it. Know that things are going to go up and down. There's a rhythm to it. Are we able to catch the ride as if you are doing surfing, right? So if you are doing having a good time, get your surfing board, going out to the ocean, you're not going to tell the ocean it's just stay calm. I just want it to be calm. You can't really ride any waves. You have to have some ups and downs for you to be able to ride the waves. So we're learning to understand that being here is not trying to ride on the calm sea. No, we want to ride along the waves. That is the art of it. Now, this one. The snore. Anyway, so the snore. It's just really funny. Anyways, so going back to how can we cultivate a positive energy collectively? We know exactly what's going on. Even when you don't really pay attention to news, you think that news are just all about negative stuff and you want to stay away from it. I get it. But again, I always think that we have to be aware of what is truly going on with the whole world. You don't have to fit into it, but you need to be aware of what's going on. Otherwise, you'll become an ignorant person, right? We want to be informed, and yes, there are a lot of misinformation flying around. I get it. But at the same time, just know that there are some people, yes, who are really suffering, who are actually running for their safety, running for their lives, right? And there are unfortunately also people are, dying or got killed in the action, right? Speaking of what's going on in Ukraine. So in order for us to be able to raise the vibration, besides doing meditation, besides doing like some other what we call like spiritual practice, another one simple way as a human being is easy enough is to cultivate that part in us, the desire just to do small good deeds, right? I will always talk about the arc, a random act of kindness. A-R-K. Ark. Okay, so it's not necessarily Noah's Ark, but the Ark. A random act of kindness. Okay, now a lot of times when we talk about helping people do a good deed, go volunteer, you don't really have to really sign up to do volunteer work per se. But I'm just saying on a daily basis, we can cultivate that part of a compassion in us, right? We all have the compassion. We all have the capacity to be very compassionate. But it takes time to cultivate that, right? So no matter what we talk about, we have those qualities, but you have to be able to polish. So you have a big piece of carbon, you need to polish it before you can see the diamond. You cannot just kind of sit there and say, oh, it's there, somewhere in there. I have it. I just don't touch it. I don't use it. I don't polish it. I don't, just use it at its finest state, right? So you will want to create the space to allow the finest quality in us to shine. So it does take some little extra TLC and time to do it. So again, to raise the vibration, one way to do it as a human being, I don't even talk about meditation, I'm just talking about being a good human being, is just to do something good, random act of kindness, as some people will do, like pay it forward, buy a cup of coffee right behind you. There's a vehicle waiting to pay for his cup of coffee. You can just pay for his cup of coffee just to pay it forward. A little thing like that, the little things that you can do. It is not, so just keep in mind, it is not about what you are doing per se, or the outcome of your action. When you talk about the act of kindness, it is the desire and the decision to make it happen. So let me repeat it one more time. To raise the vibration and cultivate the positive energy collectively, we have to put it into practice in terms of having the desire to do good deeds and truly making happen. As Grandmaster Charles said, from pranic healing, it's always, there's one part in the prayer. He loves to use St. Francis of Assisi, prayer, but here's the one part is very important. We always want to cultivate the part in us to be compassionate. So we want to have the goodwill and the will to do good. I think that always stays with me ever since I learned pranic healing. This is the one big thing that hits me really hard. Not only to have a good will, but the will to do good. And you actually do it. It doesn't really matter what it is. So again, when we talk about doing good deeds, this is not necessarily just about what you are going to do and what that can create the impact. It is the energy behind what we truly want to do and really actually implement and apply the energy and turn it into action. So because we are really in this physical world, so we want to manifesting into the physical matter, right? So you want to be create something that is physically tangible, physical manifestation. So it's not just about inner part of work, which is very important, but when you can manifest from the inner desire to help people, whether I just want to help you to get you a piece of a candy just because you are hungry. See, this is something that I don't know if my coworker Sarah would happen to watch this video. Probably she won't even listen to me because I talk so much already at work. She's probably got fed up with this person talks so much. She knows that. But I don't know, she recognizes that a lot of times she's like one of those, like, I always call her mom, even though she's a lot younger than me. But she is a mom, and deep down in her, she's a very loving person. Okay, regardless what happened to her life, right? We all have our own histories and struggles and good times and the bad times, so we have our own temperament. Okay, but when it comes to just as simple as like using her as like example, because she always come around quite often I think because just I tend to just sit my butt down, and just do stuff, and who knows, I get caught up with things, and I'll just sit there and work, being on the phone, being on the computer. Or sometimes maybe I'll be just doing meditation for like a couple minutes, and she'll come in and just give me a few candies, some Cheetos. I know it's junk food, but again, the point is, she will come around and just really, because this is part of her. And that's the beauty, that I can see, right? In that individual, she will share. She will have enough of caring, that caring heart and loving heart to come around and just, hey, here's some candies. Hey, you want some of this? Hey, here you go. Sometimes she would just grab a paper towel and just pour something on a paper towel, or get a paper plate, just give something and just hand it over to me, So these are what I meant by like a random act of kindness. It's not like you plan it ahead of time. I'm going to sign up for a volunteer event with so-and-so organization, whatever. It's good to do that too. I'm not saying not good. It's great. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. But I'm just saying sometimes the little gestures, little things that you do, it's just not about what kind of candy she's giving me. It's just to know that this person have the genuine, kind, caring heart, have that energy behind it. And she manifested it by doing it. That's how we cultivate the positive energy among us and around us and for the whole entire world, right? So collectively, we really want to bring that positive energy together and to raise the vibration. Yes, some may argue like, well, what's going on over there in Ukraine? Whatever we do, what's so big deal? Compared to that kind of destruction, this is not going to be good enough. Never underestimate the energy. I think that's really the one big misconception for most people. They think that they have to do something really grand, very impactful in terms of like what they can see and quantify. How many hours of volunteer you have been doing, what type of volunteer work that you have been doing, and how many people you have impacted. That's great, but that's very human mind of thinking about like you have to do something so exponentially so much in order for you to be able to create that impact. No, every single one of us, if we just pitch in the little kindness, think about how many souls are living right now, regardless of the social economical status, okay? Just regardless of that part. Let's take that out of the equation just to be like, hey, even if I'm homeless, but I got something, somebody give me an extra slice of pizza, right? From the trash can, I found one big box of it, right? There's at least like 6 or 7 slices. They chop it, they cut it into multiple, slices, smaller slices. But hey, I got some you guys want to share. Even from that perspective, this is no joke. This is very, very something that I hope that for those of you who are very, what I call intuitive, if you really take the time and really feel that energy, scan the person's energy, just get into that space and feel. When you notice when people are able to do that, when they seem to have nothing, but they're homeless, what the fuck, But those people can still have the heart of sharing, still have the love and care enough to share. That is what I meant by compassion. Sometimes you don't have to be really rich and wealthy and really well off in order for you to be able to help people. No, sometimes it's not just about money. Yes, money is part of the energy flow. I get that. It's one form of manifestation of abundance. Yes, I get that. But that's not the only manifestation of abundance either. So have the ability to be able to understand and fully embrace the term the understanding of what we call abundance, compassion, and love, what that truly means to you. Perhaps you have to look at and listen to your own narrative when it comes to abundance, when it comes to wealth. Some people, they said that wealth is not just about money. There are people who are very wise and they can have a great elaboration of what wealth means to them, what their definition of wealth. So again, abundance can be abundance of joy, can be abundance of love, could be abundance of monetary manifestation, right? Money, financial security, and abundance. It could be your health, and it could be anything else. So do a little, little soul searching, right? To ask yourself, what is it that you can experience, even just to visualize yourself doing something very small? It seems to be so unimportant or irrelevant, something that's so insignificant according to your book, according to your view on life. But put yourself into the visualization just to do a little bit of those wonderful things. Seems to be very small and minute, unnoticeable. But notice your energy will shift, even just to do that tiny little bit. Imagine everybody in this world, on this planet, just to talk about this planet only. I'm not talking about any other universes, right? Just to think about every single living being is able to do that. That amount of energy that we can raise the vibration by doing so. Just because. Just for today. Just because I have this wonderful feeling to share, to help, to give, to love, to care. For that moment, you shift the energy, not only for you, not only for the person or the people that you're helping, but the whole entire collective planet beings are being shifted, elevated, just because of that. When we're able to connect to the divine, and for those of you who are just really focusing on connected to God, same thing. That should be even easier. For those of you, I would challenge you that you want to be Christ-like, you love Jesus. If you think about that, tiny little thing that you do, you should be able to opening up your heart center and become so compassionate that you should be able to feel that shift. Even for a small little thing that you do, that energy will be able to shift for you to be recognized and notice. It is completely noticeable when you're truly in alignment with the divine, when you're truly in alignment with your higher self and to serve your higher purpose, your highest purpose, not just higher purpose, right? To be in alignment, to be able to do things that serve your highest purpose for the highest good. You will feel it. That should not be a difficult task. And for those of you who are not sensitive, who are not quite know what the heck I'm talking about, that's okay too. Just be a good, decent human being, right? At any given time, that if you run into somebody who just need a hand and just need to grab some groceries and have a hard time to open the door, somebody drops something to the floor, grab it for that person. Even just for that simple gesture. It would be nice if we have those machines to be able to scan people's energy and be able to monitor every single person when they're actually able to do a random act of kindness, a very simple thing, unimportant gesture, so to speak. The energy field, the energy overall will shift just because of that. It will change the color, it will raise the vibration, whether you are aware of it or not. Until next time, I think I'm done talking for today. Let's do it together. I invite you. I'm not going to challenge people because there's no point to challenge. We don't need to challenge because who we truly are has nothing to do with being challenged or not. Because you are who you are. Your true nature does not require to acquire new skills. It only require us to become in tune to who we are, to allow the true, beautiful, loving qualities to come through. You see what I'm saying? So when you have a lot of wonderful treasures but you never clean your house, when you come home and just stuff all over, you cannot tell people like, oh, I lost my treasures. No, that's a bullshit. Because your stuff is in the house. Nobody came in to do anything. You know it's in the house, but you just have a bunch of laundry never done, bunch of trash. Things are completely disorganized, okay? Like, everything that you have, it's there. Like, it's gonna take you a lot more time trying to sort things out to find your treasures. So never gonna be like a what most people said that I lost it. I don't have it. I lost it. You never lost your stuff. Who you are, your true nature, it's always there. But when we have so much garbage around us that blind us, as if we don't have it, as if we lost it. We never lost those qualities. That's part of us. That's part of who we are. We just cannot really see it, even in what we talk about, like in the vision, right? Your ability to be able to discern when there's so much garbage blocking you, blindsided you. How do you expect you're able to see clearly? Even when I wear glasses, I need to clean the lenses every day, multiple times a day, in order for me to see. You cannot just be like, oh, this all dusty, we'll get a kaboom in Phoenix, because it's a freaking desert, and then you'll be like, oh my god, I lost my vision. Are you freaking killing me? You did not lose your vision, just your lens are just all crappily dirty, filled with dust, a whole layer that you cannot see it for that moment until you clean it. So again, remember, what I'm talking about is not trying to tell you to find something new, to create something new. I'm just trying to encourage everybody to remember who you are. Remember, those wonderful qualities are not lost to the civilization. Like we talk about Atlantis, we have this like destructive thing going on. It doesn't really matter what happened in the past, even in the history, and even in the traditional human history. Let's just talk about that, right? When we are not able to see it, not because we lost it. There's a difference. When we don't have it, we need to acquire a skill, versus when you already have it, you're just too busy and too blindsided to see it, to look for it, because it's in you. That's a big difference. It's not something that you don't have, you need to learn and acquire. No, this is something innately we do have those wonderful, beautiful qualities. And being a very loving human being, a beautiful soul with the uplifting capability to rise and shine. That is who we truly are. Okay, though. I'm out, signing off. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.